everyone, my name is Basanti and this is Erica. She's my mum, and we're going to do a yoga class for you today, which is for older people, and there'll be a couple of things in there for you if you're struggling with menopausal symptoms as well. Alright, come onto your back and bring the soles of the feet together in Supta Bathak Yoga Ltd or in a reclined angle. Just stretch the arms away from you, close your eyes, open the palms to the ceiling, and then just get a sense of your breath. Mouth closed. Start noticing the breath and see where you can notice the breath. From the nostrils down to the throat, to the chest and rib cage. And then focus on your stomach. On that gentle rise and fall. And notice how you can slow it down. Now we're going to inhale and sigh out just to release heat and to cool down. Deep breath in. And we can sigh out in any way we like. We don't have to be shy. So whatever feels good to you. A few more like that. Yeah, and a couple more. And that should reduce stress in the body as well. And let your body return to normal, let your breath return to normal, just breathing in and out through the nose. Okay, now from here, bring your knees in towards you, nice and gently. Knees come in, all the way in towards the chest. And we can rock it from side to side if that's comfortable. Find your static pose here, just on your back, no longer rocking, just feeling your whole entire back firmly on the mat. Great, and then from here, just let go of your left leg, keep the right knee close towards you, and stretch that left leg away from you. Very nice. We're going to take a deep breath in, and on the exhale, take that right knee and bring it over towards the left. So we're coming into a supine twist, Markatasana. Sending that right knee all the way over to the left and twisting. Very good. Now, as you can see, my mum can reach the arm to the side here, but you can basically do with that arm whatever you want, as long as that shoulder stays on the ground. And you might be as flexible as her, you might be much less flexible. It doesn't really matter how deep you're going here. Just feel that stretch in your side and feel that stretch in your back. Notice what's going on. And if you can feel the stretch in any other part of the body, maybe in your hip, maybe in that bent leg, maybe in the straight leg, that's all fine. Just notice what you're feeling and breathe into that stretch. And you can also close the eyes here. We're going to stay for a few breaths. And our stress response obviously means that we've got a lot of adrenaline and cortisol running through our body, but I always think it's important to stress, pardon the pun, that stress also means that we're tensing up our muscles. So here we want to consciously relax our muscles, and we want to hold our stretches for quite a long time. It takes about 1.5 minutes for muscle tension to release, and we want to hold for long enough to also work into our fascia, into our connective tissue. That's often the reason for tightness. So we're de-stressing through those deep breaths and through long holds. Okay, my mum's going to take a deep breath in now. And on the exhale, we're going to roll onto our back. Hug that knee in towards us. And we're going to take that other knee in towards us as well. Very good. And we can rock from side to side if we like. We can stay static here. Just see how your back is feeling with all of that. And then we'll slowly become still again in the body, and we send the other leg away from us. So right leg away from us, left knee stays close towards us. And in our own time, so just like my mum did just now, take a deep breath in, take your time, and on that exhale, send that knee over to the right. So left knee goes to the right, right arm is reaching, can reach to the right, but can also just stay where my mum has it, where with the hand firmly on that knee. Left arm can reach to the left or stay wherever you want it to be. You might not have a lot of space. You can do what we're calling a cactus arm, where you're just opening up and bringing your arm into a 90-degree angle. So that arm can stay on the ground, just nice and relaxed here. Forearm onto the ground as well. Okay, other way. That's it. Very good. And we take deep breaths here. And you might feel at this point that one side is completely different than the other. That is normal as well. Is the same for you?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. So that's normal, that's what our body does. It's just, so one side will be tight, the other side will be loose, or one side will be tighter than the other. Maybe both sides are very open, but no side is the same as the other. Good. We'll just stay for a little bit longer. Taking deep breaths into the body. And you want your stomach expand every time that you breathe in, and you want it to contract every time you breathe out. So it expands, it falls, it collapses into itself. And of course the same happens with the chest and with the rib cage and also with the lower back, but it's the stomach that we want to focus on, because those deep belly breaths are not just what we feel the most, but also every time we inhale and our stomach expands, we're using the diaphragm, a diaphragmatic breath. So muscle that sits on the base of the chest and then gets activated, and that means we're activating the larger part of the lungs, the lower part. And that's why it's so important, because that's where we're getting that efficient exchange of oxygen and carbon dioxide from. We'll take a last deep breath in here, and we exhale and release. We'll come onto our back, right and left knee both in towards us, and we can stay static here, or we can rock from side to side. Just see what feels most comfortable. Good. Now from here, bring your feet firmly onto the ground, and then come onto the right side of the body and up to seated. Take your time here, we're in no rush. And we're going to cross the legs in front of us into Shukrasana, happy pose, easy pose. As you know, or you can see, my mom doesn't need a block underneath her, but I'm just sitting on a block. So if you want to, if you have a book or a block lying around, you can do the same here, sitting on something to make this more comfortable for yourself. Good, and we're going to open the palms to the ceiling, press the thumb and forefinger tip together, and stretch the remaining fingers away from us. This is Gyan Mudra. Helps us concentrate, and we can close the eyes. And we take a deep breath in for 3, 2, 1, and out for 3, 2, 1. We'll take a deep breath in for 3, 2, 1, and out for 3, 2, 1. In 3, 2, 1, out 3, 2, 1. In 3, 2, 1, out 3, 2, 1. And we're going to keep that up in our own time. So I might have gone too fast for you, I might have gone too slow. So find your own rhythm here, breathing in for 3 and out for 3. That's called Samvrit. It's also known as box breathing in English. It's just breathing in for the same time as breathing out. But we're now going to slow down the exhalation. That will calm our body. It calms against rage and irritability. It just slows down our body and lets our stress hormones metabolize, and we're then ready to produce our own happy hormones. So we're going to breathe in maybe for 3 and out for 6, but try and see that as just a guidance and don't push the air out. And you want to make sure that as you're breathing in on that first count, the breath is exactly the same as on the second and on the third count. So not thinking at the end, I have to keep breathing in but there's no air. So just nice and gentle, deep breaths in and slow breaths out. In for 3 and out for 6. You might start to notice that you're doing a little pause at the top anyway. You can expand on that pause If you've got any blood pressure issues or if you have a heart condition, then please leave that out and just stay with a very normal pause, that pause that you would normally not even realize. If you want to expand on the pause, that's great. And you can even breathe in for 3 and then hold for 4 times as long. So breathe in for 3, hold for 12, and then breathe out for 6. That might be quite difficult for you, so I want you to play around with that a little bit. Nice and gentle breaths. So if you're just going through your menopause, just know that yoga can help you reduce stress. It can relieve a lot of menopausal symptoms such as hot flushes and night sweats. It can restore your energy levels as well if that's what you're struggling with, and it can maintain obviously the strength of your bones and your muscle mass. But there's certain things that yoga can't do, and I would always say check in with a doctor to make sure that you know what's good for you and what isn't, as gentle as this class is. So now open your eyes, and we keep sitting nice and tall. And we're going to bring, that didn't mean that you were sitting, that you were slouching. Just a reminder for everyone, for myself as well. Bring your right hand onto the left knee and bring your left hand just behind you so that the top of the hand rests on your lower back or maybe even on the right waist. And from here, we're going to twist. We're going to open up to the left. Very good. And we can look towards the back here if that's comfortable. Depending on how deep in your twist you are, you're going to be able to go a little bit further, a little bit deeper. Make sure that your neck muscles are comfortable here, that nothing is uncomfortable. We take a deep breath in, straighten the spine, and we exhale and come back to where we were. And we'll do the other side. Left hand onto the right knee, right hand behind us. Breathe in, straighten the spine, and breathe out, twist. Very good. And we stay here, deep breaths into the body. Nice and relaxed. And on your next exhale, slowly come back. And we're going to change sides. So we were sitting here in Shukrasana in the way we probably normally sit. Bring that outer foot in towards you now. Very good. And you might find that you've got a side that you naturally just oscillate to without even thinking about it. That's what we do. And when we're sitting, then one leg is on top of the other, and it tends to be the same leg. So now we're going to do that same twist, but we're going to do it with Shukrasana the other way. So start by bringing the right hand onto your left knee, left hand onto the right waist. Take a deep breath in, straighten the spine, and exhale, twist, open up towards the left. And in this one, I know I'm constantly mirroring. Here we're not mirroring because that's asking too much of my sweet mum. Good, and we take a deep breath in here, and on the exhale, we come back. Great. Now left hand onto the right knee, right hand behind you. Breathe in to straighten the spine and breathe out to twist into your body. Because that spinal mobility can't happen if we're slouching. If we're rounding, then nothing's going to happen. It's really no use. So it doesn't matter how far we're going here, we just want to stay straight in the spine. Take a deep breath in, and on the exhale, slowly come back. And then from here, we're going to come onto all fours. So bring the hands onto the ground and make sure that you spread your fingers as wide as you can. Good. And we want to make sure that our fingertips all face the front. Very good. And we have the hands right underneath the shoulders. So maybe bring them a little bit further in towards you, just a tiny bit. Very good. Now knees underneath the hips. That's already the case as far as I can see. And we're going to take a deep breath in and arch our back and look up to the ceiling. And we breathe out, round the back and drop the head. And we're going to start getting used to that as well. Inhale and arch. Exhale and round. And that breath that we were doing before, so that in for 3, out for 3, in for 3, out for 6, that's something you can play around with here. I want you to let your breath be the thing that you're focusing on, and that movement just adjusts to the breath. So every time you inhale, you arch, and when you're ready to exhale, you're going to start rounding the back. And again, if you feel like holding your breath after that inhalation, hold the posture, round, and maybe after you've exhaled all the way, you feel like you can hold there, leaving your lungs empty for a moment. So just find your rhythm here. You don't have to do my mum's rhythm. You're just having your own rhythm, and you're getting to know your own breath when it's not being rushed, when it doesn't have to play second fiddle. So here the breath takes center stage, everything else adjusts to the breath. And then I want you to close your eyes again and just move into your body in any way you like. My mom's going to do some other things here that might feel good for her body. I would do other things again, and you'll probably do something altogether different. So just see what feels good for your body, how you want to stretch. The hips can go all the way to the back, the hips can go all the way to the front. You can change the position of your knees for that if you like. You can shift your weight towards the right, the left, just do whatever feels good here. And just get a sense of what your body feels like, where you can feel tension in the body, and where you're feeling quite open, quite nice. So all of that is something we're going to explore here. And then slowly make your way back into tabletop pose, so just Parmanasana on all fours. No arch, no round, just tabletop with a tiny little arch in the back. That's that natural curve in our spine. If you don't have that, it's fine. All our spines look very different. And we're going to stay here, keep the eyes closed, and take a few deep breaths. Good. Now from here, Mum, tuck the toes under and push the hips up. We're going to come into mountain pose or Parvatasana, which is very often referred to as downward dog, which I've learned as a different pose, slightly different with the head on the ground. I'm not going to ask you to do that now. What we're going to focus on here, and my mum's doing it already, is push the heels towards the ground, straighten the legs as much as you can, but also make sure that you're not overdoing it. So if you're feeling really tight in the backs of the legs and the hamstrings, you can start by just walking the heels into the ground. Now make sure that your feet are about hip distance apart, so not quite together. A little bit further apart there, Mum. That's good. Great. And then from here, if you need to, bend your legs. If you need space underneath your heels, keep that space underneath the heels. But we're going to push into the shoulders, push the shoulders towards the back. No, keep the head dropped. Very good. So just exactly where you were. That nice straight back that you've already seen with my mum, so she did everything right, is what we want here. So really stretching out, imagining one straight line going from our tailbone all the way to the wrists. Very good. Now from here, inhale and raise your right leg. Very good. You stretch it out and we keep the head dropped. On an exhale, step that foot in between the hands. You might not land there, that's absolutely fine. Step it forwards, help yourself out until you're there, very good. And then drop that whole back leg all the way to the ground. Brilliant. Now you want to make sure that you're sliding that back leg to the back because you want your knee and heel to be in line here. Brilliant. Now from here, just open the torso to the front. The hands can stay on the ground. If you've got books, blocks or something, you can bring them underneath your hands. And if you feel stable enough, and you might not, you can bring your right hand onto the right knee and raise the left arm. Maybe just one, not both. If you've got a bookshelf there, you can hold onto the bookshelf. So help yourself out in any way you like, just make sure you're comfortable. Good, bring that hand down. Bring your right hand down onto the ground again. And from there, come into child's pose. So just bring that right leg to the back and push the hips to the back. Now you might not be super comfortable in child's pose, that's fine as well. You can raise the hips, they don't have to be in line, in connection with your, or the buttocks don't have to be in connection with your heels. Good, and then from there, once we've relaxed a little bit, we're going to make our way back into that V shape, and that inverted V shape, that mountain-like shape. So we're coming up, tucking the toes under, and pushing the hips up. And we don't have to overdo anything here. I should have said that the first time around as well. Not for everyone, mountain or Parvatasana is comfortable. You can keep the knees on the ground as well. So maybe we'll show you on the other side because you'll know what to do. So you can stay here and raise your left leg now, or Mum, maybe we'll demonstrate. Bring the knees to the ground from here and then raise your left leg. And we'll show you that the same thing is possible Exactly, great. Now keep your arms really strong here. Straight arms, very good. Raise that leg as high as you can. Take a deep breath in, and on the exhale, step that left foot in between the hands. Again, that might be a little bit difficult, probably easier than from downward dog or mountain pose. And then from here, you can slide that back leg further back so that you're in that same low lunge, Anjanyasan, or son of Anjani. And we're going to raise maybe one arm, maybe both arms. Start by maybe bringing that left hand onto the left knee. Very good. And if we feel like we're stable enough, we're going to raise that right arm as well. We don't have to. So see how it goes. Very good. We can look up to the ceiling as well. So there's lots of different options of what we can do. It's also fine to have your torso further forward so the shoulders don't have to be in line with the hips. As long as you're stretching out here and you're reaching up and you're relaxing into that pose. Now take a deep breath in. And on the exhale, come back down. Good. From here, make your way back into child's pose. So take that left leg to the back, push the hips to the back, and relax. Very nice. Good. And we take a few deep breaths. So this is new for me. I've not guided anyone yet. This is very strange to not be doing this with you. I hope I'm I'm managing it anyway. Great. From here, Mum, please come back up into Parvadasana. So tuck your toes under. Hands firmly on the ground. Remember to spread your fingers wide. And if you feel like your hands and feet are too close together or too far apart, you can always adjust that a little bit here. So maybe walk your hands a tiny bit further forwards if you can. You can always bend your legs and make this more comfortable. Great. And now from here, just walk your feet to the hands. Very good. Let yourself hang here. If you feel like shaking off the hands, the wrists, after all that action that they got, give them a shake and then hold onto your opposite elbow here. Oh, you can do that as well. Amazing. So you can also do that in front of you, so just underneath your head. Lots of different options here. Very good. And we can gently rock from side to side here. Make sure that you don't lose your balance. So take it nice and easy, rocking gently from side to side, only as much as is comfortable. And you'll notice that my mom's quite flexible. I've got that from her and from my dad, who was a yogi. So you can always bend your legs here. You don't have to straighten the legs all the way. Good. And then from here, start bringing your hands to the shins. And then straighten the arms and straighten your torso. You can bring the hands even further up if you want. That all depends on where exactly you want to be. They can be much lower as well. So this is all, whatever is okay for you. Straightening the back is what you want here. Very good. And then from here, drop the head again and we slowly roll up through the spine. So head drops all the way. Careful with glasses. Very good. And we come to standing. Good. From here, bring your feet together, but keep them apart if you're more comfortable that way. So we're going to nice and slowly raise the arms, reach them high. And we exhale and bring the hands to the heart center. Good. From here, we're going to step that right leg to the back, far to the back, as far as you can. Good. A little bit further maybe. Very good. And we keep both legs straight. Very nice. Now open your torso to the camera and bring the arms to the front and back. Very nice. Now from here, as if someone was pulling at your arm, come forwards. Very nice. And then bring that hand slowly down onto your leg and raise your right arm. Good. We're going to look up towards that hand. Very nice. And here you can see nicely here, my arm is in one straight line. So we're not pushing the hips to the back. Sometimes what happens is that when we go too far, the hips push to the back and we're no longer in one line. Like this, I'm standing behind her, and it's not just one part of her body that touches me. It's a whole back. Very good. And that's where we're staying. This is Trikonasana, an easy-ish version of this, where we're just stretching into the side body here. And we can always go deeper if we want. We can always slide that left hand, that bottom hand lower down, but we don't have to. Very good. Now slowly come back and step your right foot back to the front. Good. Now we're going to do the same thing on the other side. Raise the arms nice and high and bring the hands to the heart center. Good. And then step that left foot to the back. And if it can't go far to the back, then do what my mom is doing. That's fine. Just a little bit. Now we're going to open up to that side, just so we can show people how that looks from the other side. So really open up the hip here. Push that hip open. Very nice. So that's how we want to stand here. Straight right leg, very good. We reach forwards, take your time, reach forwards first. Good, and then from here drop down. Right hand onto the right leg. Left arm reaches high and we look up if that's comfortable. Now you might have problems with your neck muscles and you might not want to look up towards the ceiling. It's fine to look to the side, it's fine to look down. Good. And we want to try and make sure that our hips, I'm not saying you're doing it, that our hips are staying in line. So if anything, it's going to be that right hip that's going to come towards the back. Very good. Now take a deep breath in and on the exhale slowly come back up and step back to the front. Very well done. Excellent. Good. Now one of my favorites, it's called Utkat Konasana. Utkat means fierce, but you'll know it probably from Utkat, the chair pose, so like this. Utkat Konasana, Kon is the angle. We're going to open ourselves up to the front and then bring your legs far apart with the toes turning out a little bit, not too much. Bring the legs even further apart if you can. So obviously don't lose your balance here. And you can stay like this. If you're able to, you can go as far apart as this. Good. But you don't have to. Good. So yeah, just be comfortable. You don't have a Santi here who can help you out. So just make sure you're comfortable. And then wherever you are, arms to the sides, we're going to sink down into our legs. So hips go to the front, knees go out to the sides. Very nice. And then the arms are going to rise. Very good. We're going to stretch it out here. Deep breaths. Good. Shoulders still relaxed, so we're not putting a strain on the shoulders in any way. The palms can be parallel, but it doesn't really matter that much. And if you can go much lower than that, but you don't have to. Because what happens if you go too low is that the knees come to the front and the hips go to the back, and we don't want that. So keep your shoulders above the hips and just sink into the legs a little bit. Very good. Deep breaths into the whole body. Very good. One more deep breath in. And we exhale and straighten the legs and we lower the arms. Very good. And after that, I think we deserve a little rest. We can come down onto our back. And just hug the knees in towards us. And we're going to start again. We're going to rock up to seated if we like. So maybe give that, amazing. If you can't do that, turn onto the right side, come up to seated in any way that's comfortable for you. And then from here, we're going to make our way back onto all fours. Good. We're going to walk ourselves back to the back of the mat. So all the feet go all the way to the back of the mat, and we're going to sit on the heels. Now this might not be comfortable for everyone. So the other option is to just come onto your lower legs, raising the buttocks. Is that better? Very good. Okay, so that's your other option. Either sitting on the heels or raising the buttocks. Now take a deep breath in and raise the arms. And on the exhale, come into child's pose. So you bring the hands down. You're going to reach forwards and drop down. And again, you don't have to sit all the way on your heels. Very good. From here, we take a deep breath in. And on the exhale, we slowly come forward. So the hips rise, the chest stays low, and we're going to bring the chest right in between the hands. So this is called Ashtang Di Namaskar. Little bit difficult. So what you see here is okay. You can keep your forearms on the ground, or you can bring the hands right next to the chest with the elbows high. Very good. Now we can tuck the toes under here as well. Very nice. Let me take a deep breath in here. And on the exhale, we come down onto the front of the body. So just stretching ourselves out all the way. Very good. Now from here, bring the hands slowly back next to the chest. And we're going to inhale and push our chest off the ground and look to the front. Hi, hi. And we can stay here, or we can inhale and come a little bit higher. So just gentle here. Elbows push in towards the sides. Shoulders slide down. And we'll feel our arms work a little bit here. Or we'll feel them a lot. We'll also feel a pinch in our back. We can relax our glutes completely. The legs don't have to do anything. The buttocks relax. Good. From here, we tuck our toes under, and Mom, careful because you're off the mat, so maybe come a little bit further forwards. Good. And we push ourselves up into Parvadasana, into our lovely mountain. Very nice. And see if maybe the feet can come a little tiny bit further back. Good. And again, feet always about hip distance apart, so not quite together, but with a bit of space between them, maybe a couple of feet. Well, not feet as in the measurement, sorry. Forget what I said. You know what I mean. Hip distance, that's what we're sticking with. Good. Now from here, on an inhale, step your right foot forwards. So what we did last time when we stepped forwards like that was we raised the leg first. That can sometimes give you a little bit of momentum and can be quite comfortable. But it's fine to just step forwards like that. Now again, what we did before, we're going to sink down our hips and bring that back leg to the ground. Very nice. And on an inhale, just as we did before, we straighten our spine, and we can even raise the arms, but don't worry, you don't have to. Brilliant, you're such a trooper. Excellent. Deep breath in here, and we exhale and bring the hands down. Very nice. And from here, we're going to tuck the back toes under and step into a forward fold. So take your time with that. Might be a little bit difficult because that leg was so far away. Very good. And in your forward fold, you're going to take a little moment just relaxing. And from here, you're going to inhale and raise the arms and torso. And we're always going to try and come up with a straight back. Don't worry too much what the arms are doing. There's so many things that they can do. As long as you're not rolling up. Here we want that straight back. Good. On your next exhale, fold back forwards. Very nice. And I'm cramping her style, but this is exactly right. Arms guide the way, chest guide the way. And now make sure that your hands are next to your feet. You can bend your legs as much as you want. And with that same leg that stepped forward, so the right leg, we now step back. So right leg goes to the back. And we immediately bring that right leg down onto the ground, bending the left leg, sinking down into that same lunge, but this time on the other side. Very good. And here too, we can inhale and just straighten the torso, or we can reach the arms up if we want. One side might be easier than the other as well. Very good. And on your next exhale, bring the hands back down. And we're going to step into Parvadasana. You've got the option of just bringing the knees onto the ground, bringing on all fours if it's all a bit too much for you. Very good. And then from here, this is the one where it really depends on what you want to do. We want to make our way into a cobra so that our legs are on the ground and the torso is off the ground. You can do that by shifting forwards and coming into a plank-like position and then dropping the knees. Very nice. So now you can drop the knees and you can drop the whole body onto the ground. Very nice. Via knees, chest, chin. So there's lots of different options as to how you can do that. Very nice. And we then look to the front in our cobra. We take a deep breath in. And we exhale into knees, chest, chin. So chest comes to the ground, chin comes to the ground, and we raise our hips here. Very good, but the feet stay on the ground. Excellent. And then from here, on an exhale, we push ourselves into child's pose. Yes, and that is a difficult one. I know, you won't be the only one who's got problems with that. So you can help yourself out in any way you like. My mum's right arm is the stronger one, as you could see here. But however you get there, you're coming back into child's pose, and that is one round of khatu pranam. Now we're going to, no, not quite, we're going to inhale and rise, raising the arms and torso. Again, staying sitting on the heels, or if we prefer, rising up onto our lower legs, if that's more comfortable. Good. From here, we bring the hands to the heart center on an exhale. Very nice. And we do the same on the other side. We take a deep breath in and raise the arms. And we exhale and come into child's pose, just bringing the arms down, rounding forwards, very nice. And we relax here, take a deep breath in. On the exhale, come into knees, chest, chin, or Ashtang Di Namaskar, 8-part salute. Ashtang, 8, Namaskar, greetings. So 8 parts of the body are greeting the ground here. We are tucking the toes under here, but don't worry too much if it looks a bit different. And also don't worry if you've got your forearms on the ground. Good. From here, we're going to inhale into our cobra. So we're going to drop all the way down and inhale. Raise your chest off the ground. Very nice. Again, elbows tucked in as you can see, and shoulders are sliding down. Good. On our next exhale, we're going to tuck the toes under and push the hips up, and we'll really take our time with this. If the knees want to stay on the ground, you can stay on all fours as well, just as we did before. Good. And now both options, either inhale, raise the left leg and step forwards, or just inhale and step the right foot in between the hands. Very nice. Step the right foot in between the hands.
Left.
Oh, sorry, left. Thanks. Thank God someone's paying attention here, because I'm not. Good. So the left foot steps forward. Excellent. And then we drop our right leg all the way down to the ground. We sink the hips down. We check on our knee-heel alignment. And my mum already did it. She realized that knee was overshooting. That's not so good for the patella. So that's why she adjusted the foot and brought it a little bit further forward. So you can adjust that back knee as well and bring it further back if there's scope for that. And now on your next inhale, raise one arm or both arms, or just straighten your torso a little bit more. Very nice. Good. On your exhale, bring that hand back down. Good. And it might be, sorry, just stay there for a moment. Sometimes I realize that people like breathing out through the mouth. That is quite a cleansing breath. It feels good for them and everything, and that is fine. Normally we'll try to breathe in through the nose and out through the nose, but the more important thing is breathing in through the nose, because we're not externalizing our lungs that way. We're not letting any toxins, anything from what's around us into our lungs, and that's what's the most important thing. Very good. I'm over-explaining here, sorry. Now from here, step that back foot to the front and come into a forward fold. And do that in any way that works for you. Very good. Excellent. And we hang out here and we relax. And on our next inhale, we come up, straightening the back as we come up. That's it. And the arms go up over the head. We bring the palms together. And on your next exhalation, bring the hands to the heart center. Very nice. We take a little moment here, because why not? And then we breathe in and raise the arms, and we breathe out and come back into Uttanasana, folding forwards all the way down. Very good. And then before we step to the back, that's that little trick here, the hands come next to the feet. Because once the hands are right next to the feet, maybe a little bit further back, and you can bend the legs if that's too hard for you, we know that we've got that knee-heel alignment at the front. So now left foot steps towards the back, and I mean the left foot. Excellent. And we're going to bend that right leg and sink the whole left leg down onto the ground. Brilliant. Now we're going to inhale, straighten the torso, raise one arm or both arms, whatever feels good here. Fantastic. And you'll notice here my mum is better, a little bit more balanced on one side than the other. That has to do largely with her foot operation. Good. On an exhale, come back down. And you'll know your body best. So there's always scope to completely change this and do all sorts of variations. Good. We're going to tuck our toes under at the back. Very nice. And we're going to step into, okay, from on this side, we're going to just show you how we can do it. If we can't come into Parvadasana, just keep your, okay, that's another option. But for everyone who doesn't want to be in Parvadasana, Mum, could you drop your back leg again? And just bring that right leg towards the back so that you're on all fours. Very good. Because that's your other option. And then from here as well, you can make your way via knees, chest, chin if you want, into a Cobra. Good. Inhale here into our Cobra, dropping the hips and raising the chest. Very nice. Brilliant. Amazing. And you'll notice that my mum's pubic bone is still in touch with the ground. Everything underneath the lowest abdomen is in touch with the ground. Very nice. From here, we take a deep breath in and we exhale back into knees, chest, chin. So you're going to come down, raise the hips. Excellent. Fantastic. I'm so proud of her. A little mannequin. Good. Now from here, take a deep breath in, and that's the hard one. Exhale into child's pose. So push yourself towards the back, staying nice and low if you can. Very good. It is hard. So that's your option. Lots of different options how to get into child's pose. And that was the second round of khatu pranam, only to be finished by rising up, reaching the arms high, raising the torso. And exhaling and bringing the hands to the heart center. So well done, everyone, especially my mum, because I can see her. Very nice. Now from here, come into a comfortable seated position. Maybe sitting on the heels, I know that's not for everyone, it's not for my mum. So maybe you want to just come into a cross-leg position here. Very nice. And we're going to bring the hands onto the knees and just relax them. Okay, so from here, we haven't mirrored anyway, so I'm not going to point out that when I say raise the right hand, I mean the right hand. My mum's going to raise her right hand. Raise your right hand now. And we're going to bring the right thumb onto the right nostril. Very good. Now you can rest your forefinger and middle finger here on your forehead if you want, or you can just curl the hand in. Doesn't matter what you want to do really. Just make sure that the right nostril is closed, and we're just breathing in and out through the left nostril. You can close your eyes now. And we're going to come back to what we did at the beginning when we were breathing in for 3 and out for 6. And I don't want to guide your breath now because I think after all of this breathing exercise, yogasana, we're probably very much in tune with what our breath is doing and what that natural rhythm of our breath is. So come back to that and breathe in for 3 and out for 6. We're going to start cleansing our energy channels. You might have heard of Nadi Shodhan. It's often pronounced Nadi Shodhana, but actually it's Nadi Shodhan. And the Nadis are your energy channels. The chi that flows through your body as it's in Chinese medicine. And that's what we're working with here. So we're, in a scientific way, focusing on breathing in and out through the left nostril because that's connected to the right hemisphere, and it calms our system. We're also making sure that there's no blockages before we go into alternate nostril breathing. So now, breathe in and slowly exhale. And then we're going to change sides. We're going to use the same hand, so the forefinger of the right hand is going to close off the left nostril now. We're just going to relax the thumb now and breathe in and out through the right. We're going to breathe in for 3 and out for 6. We'll do that a few times, just counting to ourselves, not putting a strain on any part of the body here, just relaxing. Get that sense of the rhythm of your breath. No skimming on the out breath, no pushing the air out either. And remembering that every count here is exactly the same. That breath doesn't change. It's one fluid breath. Good, and then we change back after that next exhalation. We're going to close off the right nostril whenever we're done. And we're going to take a deep breath in through the left. And then we close off the left nostril and breathe out through the right. And we take our time here, and we breathe in through the right nostril and out through the left. Just get used to that and forget for a moment about that ratio of breathing in for 1 and out for 2 or breathing in for 3 and out for 6. Just get used to how you're changing your fingers in accordance with your breath. Every time before you exhale, you change sides. And when you inhale, your fingers stay as they are. And as you're getting more used to that, you can start counting again. Breathing in for 3 and out for 6, or in for 4 and out for 8. Or just starting to count more slowly. And that calms our nervous system and lets our stress hormones metabolize, activates our rest and digest system, makes us less irritable, less excitable. And we'll do one more round like that, just breathing in through one nostril and out through the other. And when we're done, keep the eyes closed and slowly make our way onto our back. If you want to open the eyes because you need to know where you are, that's fine, of course, as well. Good. Now stretch out the arms and stretch out the legs, and you can bring the feet a little bit further apart. You can bring the arms a little bit further away from your body and open the palms to the ceiling so that we're back in Shavasana. And we take deep breaths into the body. In through the nose and out through the nose. Now you can stay in Shavasana. That's always an option for just relaxing the body, for just slowing down and ending a yoga class in a meditation. But what you can do as well is bring your feet together and raise the legs all the way up towards the ceiling. The nicest thing to do here is maybe bringing them against a wall or against a bookshelf or something. I think my mum is fine the way she is now because I know she can do this and feels comfortable. But it gets really, really nice and relaxing when you don't have to worry about what the legs are doing. They can just get heavy against something and you can completely relax. You can even bring something underneath your buttocks, like a bolster, like a cushion or something like that, if it's too much for you to just stretch the legs up. But this legs up the wall position slows down the firing of neurons in your body, so it raises your GABA levels, and they are responsible for that. So it's a positive neurotransmitter that just makes you less excitable, less anxious, calmer and more relaxed. So that's how we're ending, with another few deep breaths all the way into the belly. And if you like, you can come back to that sighing out, so breathing in and just sighing out through the nose, through the mouth, whatever feels comfortable here, with a loud sound or with just a small sound, whatever feels nice here. The other thing though is when we're engaging our vocal cords, so when we're creating sound, then that is the fastest way that we can activate our parasympathetic nervous system. So it's two things: vocal cords and letting your exhalation be longer than your inhalation. And that is often the case when we're breathing in deeply and then sighing out. And one last time. And then we slowly bring the feet onto the ground, so from Shavasana as well, slide the feet in towards you and drop the knees to the right side. Good. And then turn your torso onto its right as well. You can use your right arm underneath your head to make this comfortable and slowly come up. Very nice. And we come into a comfortable seated position any way you like. Just nice and straight in the spine here. And we're going to take a deep breath in and raise the arms. And we look up to the ceiling. And on your next exhalation, bring the hands to the heart center. Thank you very much for joining us. Thank you, Mama, for joining me. You did such a good job. And we might see you soon. You'll see me soon. Maybe my mom again as well. Thank you.